life as a barista. Every day you wake up with the sun and the smell of fresh pastries to bring joy through hot beverages and the sweet goods made with love. Except you actually wake up usually late for the bus and you're greeted by loud music, rude customers, and unhinged requests as you stand on your feet all day, getting dirty, burned, and mentally drained from rethinking all of your life's decisions and daydreaming about the millions of other things you could be doing with your time as you wipe the same coffee stain from the same damn table. Yes, working at a cafe can be living hell sometimes, but I have been enduring that reality for almost a year now, which begs the question, how? Me of all people, an expert at abandoning half-done projects and quitting things whenever they get a little too hard for my taste. As an artist who's been trying to make art consistently for a few years now, but only seems to be able to pile up empty sketchbooks, it baffles me that, again, this girl managed to endure something like that for this long. Which is why this is video number 2 in my quest to find the things that made me commit to my job and apply them to making art stick this time. So I stop giving up when things get hard, like a little baby. Well, actually babies are pretty tough, so I don't know. Like an adult. Many sessions of disbelief and journaling later, I think I found the source of my endurance. My job is a time-bound, inescapable, collective, and culpable activity. Which does make it sound like prison, but let's not open that can of worms. I knew it was going to be over. There was a beginning, a break halfway through, and an end. It always ended, it always passed. Because in reality, I only needed to make it until my break. And then I only needed to make it until the end of the day. And then the week, the month, the contract. Time was passing, but it was small, manageable chunks of time. And that, I knew that I could take. Think of it as getting on a plane. Once you're in, you're in. There's no jumping out. Well, there is, but you shouldn't do that. You have the possibility of not getting on the plane, but that's the extent of your power over the situation. After that, you just gotta take it until it's over. And at work, unless you passed out and had to be taken away on an ambulance, you couldn't just leave for no reason. There was no other alternative to escape to when things got hard. You just had to sit through it. Or rather, you had to stand it. My feet really hurt. Every single person working there was suffering just like I was. It only took talking to someone for 5 minutes to see they were living my hell. It wasn't easy for anyone, but everyone had their reasons for doing it, and that kept them going. And I didn't think that I was worse or having it worse than anyone else there. It was just objectively hard. And since we were all still there, it meant that we were probably actually very strong. And on the note of being strong, it was clear that the more I did it, the stronger I got. The job got easier because I got used to it. There was a point there in a curve where it didn't take me as much effort to endure. And that tends to always happen when you stick to something long enough. Keep in mind, these are not reasons why I put up with it. That's actually the next video's topic. This is sandwiched between knowing why you're doing it and being forced to do it. Because I realized that if my long-term reward is important enough for me and I have negative things that would make hard for me to slack, I can endure it no matter what. And the point of this series is finding that sweet spot. So these are the tools that helped me endure it when it got really hard, and when sticking to my art goals gets really hard, I think I'll just have to find a way to make them equally time-bound, inescapable, collective, and culpable. Same drill, take it one step at a time and focus on getting to the end of that step. Let's take this YouTube video for example. This is the fruit of the labor of getting to the end of a Pomodoro session. I give myself 8 sessions a day, 5 days a week. I have tasks for each session, so all I really need to do is get to the end of a Pomodoro. And then 8. And then the week. And lo and behold, there's a video at the end of that. Same rules can be applied to filling up a sketchbook or working on a piece. All you need is a plan, divide that plan into small bits, and focus on getting to the end of each. When I think about not being able to leave, I think there is nowhere else to escape. And that for me means limiting your distractions. Take this writing advice from New Gaiman.
I'm absolutely allowed not to do anything, as long as it isn't anything. All I'm allowed to do is absolutely nothing or write. But writing is actually more interesting than doing nothing after a while.
That is the embodiment of once you're on the plane, you can't get out. There is nothing else that you can do but work. And it was the same at my job. I mean, I could just behave like a child, pouting and acting like I didn't want to be there, which I have done multiple times, and I apologize to anyone who saw me like that. But the point is that you are allowed not to write. You're just not allowed to escape to something that you find more pleasurable. And that is the rule that I'll be applying. Till the end of my allocated work time, I can't get off the plane. You are not alone in your art despair either. When you're feeling hopeless and wanting to quit, maybe it's just that time of the project when you need to seek some creative advice from people that have been doing it for longer and know better than you. Because it is hell for everyone. People just find ways to cope with it. There is no reason to think that you're alone in this. And to remind me of that, I am in the process of creating my personal creative Bible, aka a Notion template, where I'll be putting all the creative advice that I gather along the way. So in desperate times, I can find comfort and support in outside sources that can pat me on the head and say, babes, you're not special. It's hard for everyone. Fortunately, the truth is that you can cope with it. We humans are just so good at adapting to things after a certain amount of time. It's just a fact. It is just a matter of trusting the process. So I'll try and trust the process. But also, this might be a bit out there, but to help me with that, I am going to try incorporating something that I absolutely dread, but that I know can build up my stamina and show me daily that I am more capable than I think I am. I am going to start exercising. I hate this already, but I'm committing to it. If I said it here, I'm just gonna have to do it. I got this piece of advice from one of my favorite books ever, and I am going to try incorporating that to my art. And I'm hoping that worst case scenario, it doesn't have much of an impact on my art, but I get ripped and healthy and happy and I live forever. Yay, sports! The point is not wanting to do hard things. The point is forcing yourself to do hard things even when you don't want to, because it will feel awful most of the time. So you have to be prepared to suffer. You have to be prepared to be miserable. But I'm hoping that by applying these tips, I can live through the misery instead of giving up or giving in. And since this channel is here to keep me accountable of that, we'll see it in a few months how much these things had an impact on me, because this experiment will either help me achieve the life of my dreams or nothing. I just gotta do it.